Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Leonard Maganza with Syniti, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Ron Thompson, the Chief Data Officer and Deputy Digital Transformation Officer at NASA and manager of the rocket fuel that powers NASA, that being data, of course. Ron, you opened the door by publishing that quote on LinkedIn, so I felt that was free to grab onto it.
Yeah, thank you, Leonard. Really appreciate you having me out today, and really looking forward to telling the NASA story.
Good. How important is it to get the data right, and what are you guys doing around data quality and data governance? And
so you're only as good. You can only visualize as good as the data that the veracity of the data, right? So we are being very, and you think about this, right? Take our human exploration work, that's our safety of our astronauts. We want to make sure we're seeing information that is factual, that we are minimizing loss of life wherever possible. So safety is number one. Safety is in our culture, number one. Really, this agency does a really, really fine job on reinforcing that. So that veracity of data is our priority for us when we share it. Mm-hmm. So we do need to show the provenance, where the authoritative sources are, as we pull it into our enterprise data platform, as we show visualizations through our dashboards and looking at, we don't want to see conflicting information, right? If it doesn't balance it, so that is something that we are doing a data maturity model to make sure we have a good catalog. We have data that is of the quality that we need. So that is very top of mind for us. Now, we do this through our governance model that we're revamping right now.
So great input, by the way. I appreciate that. And one of the other things I want to transition to, you mentioned earlier in the very beginning of this segment, how you've been in agencies, I don't know, for quite a while, right? And I've been in the data business for 20 plus years. And I used to say, our biggest customers were the ones where data had to be right or people die. And I don't say that lightly. For life sciences and aerospace and defense are our biggest customers. But what I've come to experience over time is that people care about the accuracy of their paycheck, the accuracy of the bill that their vendor, so it kind of matters, right? And part of that is process and part of that is data. But from your view of where governments are going with digital transformations and data, do you see the sea change? What's your view of that?
So yes, we're seeing positive transformation. I mean, you look at NASA's transformation. We're transforming our workforce and workplace. So that's how we describe it. We have metrics that we are putting in place where we can track movement into these areas to make sure we're identifying the right priorities where we need to address pain points that are across the organization. Mm-hmm. So if you look at digital transformation, and we benchmarked this, a couple of years ago now, typically organizations revector about 1% of gross spend. Now for NASA, we're about a $26 billion a year agency. We are not using anywhere near that level of money, funds, resources to put onto this. So we've launched a couple of years ago a coalition of the Willie model, and now we're shifting to a more direct model of transformation where we pick fewer things, but they are really aligned to mission outcomes and mission pain points we have right now. So that linkage is extremely important. But the other thing here is want to make sure we mention this is not a shiny object thing. Digital transformation is sort of being used by, sort of like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and people really don't understand the context behind there, or maybe zero trust if you're on the infrastructure side, right? Yep. But I think it's important to know, Leonard, that digital transformation is not about just IT or services being delivered from IT. It's really what can digital use in service to transforming an organization. So we're really taking a look at our operating model, how our processes work, how our organizations are functioning. How do we encourage sharing? How do we encourage transparency?
I love the insights. It reaffirms what we know, right? Sometimes the soft stuff is the hard stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But hey, thank you, Ron, for joining me today. And thank you, guests, for listening. And please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Bye.
Thank you, Leonard.